something very significant about money. He said the love of money, not money, but the love of money is what? The root of all evil. And something was said on CNBC today. The stock market fell 4.4% today. Actually, the Dow Jones did, as well as the S&P 500. These are major benchmark indicators. And the NASDAQ fell, I think, 4.68 today. Just to give you an example, it normally doesn't fall more than maybe 0.25. I mean, this is major, and it's done this now 4 days in a row. Now, just want to give you an example. When the stock market goes down 1,000 points, that equals about $1 trillion lost. It has now lost over $3.5 trillion in the last 4 days. I want you to understand something. Many people look at money as their route to covenant. They look at it as their pathway to covenant. Many people, their self-worth is based on financial things. Now, they have an interesting thing. When the stock market is doing well, they said this years ago after 1929. 1929, which was the great stock market crash, which led to the Great Depression. I mean, this is serious stuff. They literally felt it was a catastrophic act of God. That's what they said at the time. It was actually based on lust and greed and a sense of overindulgence. But there was a statement that they called the great stock market crash the Great Flood. They said, under Noah, it is called a deluge. It's this massive thing that takes place. And back then, people really felt this was the judgment of God on a nation. Whether it was or wasn't, this thing really lasted from 1929 to 1941. It actually took a war under FDR to turn the financial matrix around. They literally used a rainbow as a sign. God protect the flood, this financial flood. We're drowning in it. We're going down the hand count. It's interesting, today they referred to the rainbow on CNBC, and they're saying, this is crazy. There's no reason for it. Everybody's freaking out over the coronavirus. Everybody's freaking out. It's going to be. They've got people, bonded and interesting. What are the said? We need the rain, and we need some God's favor. And these people, because they've been through. So, I mean, if you invest it all, what's going on right now is really no big thing. Because how many of you know God owns the hills, the gold is, the silver is his? It don't mean a thing. But I realize, I'm bringing up the rainbow. The rainbow was a sign of the Noahic covenant. What is the Noahic? Who's the God who's on the covenant? And it was put there for. I want you to understand, the rainbow has no perversion in our culture. What I'm about to say is not a black, white, red, yellow, or brown thing, but Jesse Jackson, who was my neighbor, back in 1967, he moved on my block and lived about 6 doors away. Muhammad Ali, who was called Captain at the time, at the end of the block. And he started an outreach called the Rainbow Coalition. And he became a springboard into racism. I'm going to put Jesse Jackson down because I want you to know I know a lot of white racists and black racists and red racists and yellow. Racism is not a single color. It is a demonic spirit. It is an mindset. But here's this rainbow that was actually a covenant exclusively between God. Little tend to love rainbows. I know people that collect rainbows. For a song, these Christian song, you remember, I'm tired of chasing pretty rainbows. That's right. The rainbow has most recently been for the LGBTQ community. And again, you don't know this, but if you'll go back and understand the Hemet.Church movement, which is for homosexuals, and I'm not putting people down, bringing this to you, they grabbed all of the Rainbow Coalition because they said they believe that when Ham saw in his nakedness, and they believe the grandson Canaan came, and there was homosexuality between them. And there's a lot of Jewish theologians that believe that as well. Why did Noah say, curse not his Ham, but his grandson Canaan? So then the Metropolitan, we need to seize this rainbow, because the rainbow speaks of God's favor. The rainbow speaks of God's covenant. And the reality is, you've got born again. Unless a man be born again, he can't come under the rainbow. He cannot see the kingdom of heaven. You see, friends, it doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter what generation you're from. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished. The rainbow is an exclusive sign, like the scar, the hands of Jesus, and in his side, in his feet, nail prints, the covenantal symbols and signs. Has been so perverted, if you will. There's all an anti-version of every word of God. We have Christ. What is the anti-Christ? Come on, brother. The Christ. You will find there is a place the Lord would have to go, because the Lord, all repentance, that no man all would come to the everlasting. There's actually an antithesis to heaven. What might it be? No, it's not New Jersey. Yeah, well, where you're from. Let's think God's original intent for the rainbow today, because we've been talking about covenants. We've been talking about covenant that Adam enjoyed before they sinned. Then about the Adamic covenant. When man sinned, what does the Bible say? All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. It said, what does it say about blood? What does it say about the remission of sins? Can anyone think of Leviticus 17, verse 11? What? Without shedding of blood, there is no remission. You can't remove the sin. And so we begin to see how when Eve had animal skins placed on them, what was on the reverse side of those animal skins that were freshly sacrificed? Blood. What's the Hebrew word for blood? Dam. Very good. Dam. There it is. And covenant. Read this. Genesis 6, verse 8 to 13. If you're new to this series, you'll pick it up right away. And verse 7-2. But Noah found favor with the Lord. I love that. This is the history of Noah. Noah was a what? A righteous man. Would you like to put him in there today? Or righteous woman. The only blameless man living out at the time. Blameless is not perfect. He's blameless because the man understood the mystery of sacrifice. We'll see that when he gets off the ark as well. He consistently followed God's will and enjoyed a close relationship with him. Now, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Earth and God, and it was filled with violence. God observed all this corruption in the world, and violence and brokenness everywhere. So Noah, which people have hold of this. So God said to Noah, I decided to destroy all living creatures, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Yet wipe them all from the face of the earth. Now, that's a delete button. I'm about to cover the earth with a flood. There's never been a flood on the earth at this point. That will destroy every living thing. Everything on earth will die. An intense prophetic declaration. I swear to keep you safe in the boat with your wife, son, and their covenant. Then take care of every kind of animal, a male in the boat with you, to keep them alive from the flood. Parents of each kind of bird, each kind of animal, life, come kept alive. Oh, remember, take enough food for you and the animals. What's enough food? How do you know what's enough food? How long is this for? So everything exactly as God has commanded. So we learn that all the other covenants except one was what? Blood. Good. Without blood, no remission of sins. Provision was made of clean and taken. The Lord said, bring 2 of the covenant, but He's going to tell us every now, you're to bring 7 every, or every clean animal, because He's putting a sacrificial system into place. And this is important. When the Bible says we have a covenant, because there are promises, the bulls, goats, and little doves, a blood covenant is going to be ratified by the blood of Jesus Christ. It's a better covenant. So every sign of covenant, every symbol of covenant, every blood sacrifice can come to a blood sacrifice blood that flows from Emmanuel's veins, Jesus Christ. Now, the first act of the remnant, that's Noah, Mrs. Noah, Shem and his wife, Ham and his wife, Jacob and his wife, 3 sons of Noah. They are called the remnant of the human race. And everyone, the first act of the remnant of the human race, the first the Lord gave Shem. When you read in the scripture, heavens and turtles and holy sacrifice, it can seem so bloody. Leviticus 11, without the shedding of blood, no remission of sins. This act of God pronounced the terms of the covenant. I want to show you some special Noah today. These are the additional blessings of the covenant. Genesis 9, verse 1. God blessed Noah and his sons, but he didn't bless them all the same. God. He's a just God. He's not a fair God. He's a just God. Noah and his sons and told them, multiply. It's like Genesis 1:26 all over again. Multiply. We're creating our image and our likeness. Don't be fruitful. Multiply. The Lord multiply and fill the earth. All the wild animals, large and small, birds of fish, you. I place them in your power. I've given them to you for food, just to give you grain and vegetables. So vegans covered, vegetarians covered, and they're enlightened people, the carnivorous people, you know. But you never eat animals. Still have their lifeblood in them. You will not blood bring, keep the laws. There was something about why blood was for the life of the flesh is where the life of the flesh is in the blood. But also blood, when you sacrifice the life of living things, it was your sacrifice. It was your blood sacrifice through the, shall I say, one of these animals. And that's what Emmanuel, that's what Jesus did for us. But you will never animals that still and murder forbidden. So is that capital punishment is forbidden? Look what it says here. Murder. Not kill. Now it's saying here, murder is forbidden. But punishment was ordained by God. The Bible tells us there's a reason why we have authorities for us and they do not bear the sword in vain. But we're going to break this down just a little bit. This is a good day to be here. This is a good day to be here. And for animals that kill people must die. This is the law now. I'm not a race, but this is a serious thing. There's a reason. Man is created in whose image? God's image. So there's a reason. And any person who murders must find sanctuary city in California and here. And do what they want to do. For Washington State. Washington State. Where am I going to find a handheld? Help, help, help. Everybody pray I'll find a handheld mic. I got Steve here. Oh, I got it. There we go, and let's turn this one off there. And does it still sound okay? Can you just a little bit more, Steve? Let's dial it up just a bit. Our friends watching online right now, okay? Better than that. Guys? Steve, I need, okay. It's louder than these. Okay, guys? Let's have Steve, if you could, I'd appreciate that. So there you go. Any murders must be killed. But remember, the Lord utterly destroyed the Amalekites. Look what they did to the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Amorites. Which is not. Yes, you must execute anyone who murders another person. For to kill a person is to kill a living being made in God's image.
you're saying, thank God, from the curse law. There you go. And still, God said to his sons, I am, what's this word? Making a, isn't it cool? With you and your descendants. And the animals, yeah, and the animals with you, all these livestock, and with that, I saw promised never to send another flood to put all the creatures and destroy the earth. He's making a covenant with animals. He will talk to animals. In fact, on the law, the Sabbath, you are to work your animals on the day of rest. There's a principle. There's a reason. God said, I am giving you a sign, evidence of eternal covenant with you and all living creatures. I have placed my rainbow in the house. Oh, this is serious. You know, right, all you want, that's all you want. You want to be careful all the value of a symbol to God has a script. I my in the clouds. I can't wait to tell you about this. It's a sign of my permanent old and new you and the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will be seen in the clouds. I remember God has promised memory. I will to I will honor my covenant with you and everything that lives. Never again will be a flood. There'll be floods. What's the distinguishing factor? That will destroy all life. When I see the rainbow clouds, so the other day, I will remember the eternal God and every on earth. Then God said to Noah, yes, this is the my covenant with all the creatures. He destroyed every living face in the earth except within the Moses was and Moses was spared for the other Hebrew boys were being destroyed. He said, now right now, you are under the covenant, under the protection of the rainbow. Yes, this is my covenant with all the creatures in the earth. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, sons of Noah, survived the flood. Ham is the ancestor of the Canaanites. From these three sons of Noah came all the people now scattered across the earth. We are supposed to in people on this planet. 8 million people, 7 counting. And it's interesting when you look at Romans 19, when you look at the numbers, and you look at the numbers are here to 7 billion, and yet the fear that people have of a single virus. Every single continent, with the exception of Antarctica, has been now impacted. Not in a way. Continent has some coronavirus. Do that. Everything except for one continent. Because who'd want Antarctica? Take a vacation there, Robert Perry. Okay. But take it down and say, be fruitful and multiply. From people who are looking at 8 billion people, 8 to 8 billion. 8 to 8 billion. This is a sign of look at this. This do-over. What Adam and Eve completed, what they have reproduced. Except these are now being destroyed. And now he's giving the mandate of what it is. Being fruitful and multiply. Adam, he says, the first man. How many of you know that in the garden? makes the connection, it was. How many says do not enter? It means literally in Hebrew, English, do not enter, dummy. Here we are. So the story of a missionary in Africa, and a lion is shooting him. And the missionary stops. Get up, please. Talk about the Lord, spare me. And the lion gets on his knees and looks towards heaven. And the guy goes, praise God, Christian lion. And you're like, bud, don't get excited. I always say great for real. So here's change in the world. Animals by nature are often stronger than a man. How many polar bears are at the San Diego Zoo? Because there's grass between us and there's a moat between us. And you get the point. In a fallen world, there's no longer a lamb and a lion. But in the millennium, it's a lion and a lamb that can be together. God lets man know there will be protection. Man in many ways is actually the weakest God in some ways. And yet, he makes us Lord of the planet. How many people realize the way can take you out? A can take you out. A lion, a giant, a bear, oh my, can take you out. How many realize the right insect can take you out? How many realize a parasite can take you out? I could keep your favorite animal, but here it is. Part of the covenant is animals will be subjugated. Like the serpent. How many of you have been to the Ringling Brothers Circus or the Barn Bailey Circus, and you have this guy with a chair and a whip. How do you like a brain transplant? You know what I'm saying? And he's lion, he's tiger, and he's an elephant. And there's something in nature left over man where God's giving you dominion. Now, in this passage, God endorses the death penalty. Part of his covenant. And the consequences of the covenant. You got to look at this. This is as a deterrent to man killing man. See, a lot of people say, I believe in the penalty because it forces people. It does deter that person that for killing you, killing me. But that has to be a deterrent. That is God's reason. We understand the covenant because they've proven that probably isn't a deterrent.